Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hello, everybody. It's Tom here with episode 22, Upselling and Advertorials. This will be one of the most powerful lessons you could ever have. If you implement what you learn, it will most likely mean millions of dollars of extra income over the course of your business. Now, I hope you didn't miss episode 21, where Jeff Ronning, the stealth webinar guy, he tells about the time he got projectile throw up in the back of his head. You don't want to miss that. He's also got a lot of good business tips. Our sponsor is kickstartcart.com, the shopping cart system I've been using and promoting for 16 years because mere mortals can operate it, and it's very powerful. To be able to do some of the things I talk about today, you need a good shopping cart system. We give unlimited free one-on-one tutoring on the cart to get you up and running and to help you figure things out fast. So get your 30-day free trial at kickstartcart.com, and we'll have that in the show notes. Okay, let's get into our main topics today, and that's upselling and advertorials. These are two different topics, but both will help you sell more. We typically call upselling, do you want fries with that? Someone has already made a purchase decision, and we are offering them something additional to go with what they just decided to buy or what they have already purchased. In the show notes for this episode at screwthecommute.com, we're going to have screen captures so you can see how upselling and advertorials might look in action. So check that out. Again, this is episode 22. But let me give you my first theory. And even though everything I teach is very practical, I think it's important to know why things work. Upselling works so well, especially the first two types I show you below, because of what I call the open wallet theory. That is, the easiest person to sell is the one who already has his wallet out. You can't go to hardly any stores that don't have a bunch of stuff to buy at the checkout counter. Why? Because you're stuck there waiting in line to purchase what you wanted to purchase, and you're a captive audience to all the other stuff. This is a big profit center for most physical businesses. I use the same technique online, even though the person isn't technically waiting behind others to purchase. Okay, let's get into upselling first, and then I'll get into advertorials later. First, an overall theory that I operate by, and I might add other people that are successful with other methods, but this is the theory I try to stick to when selling a particular product or group of products using upselling. My view is that I only put one decision in front of a person at a time. I believe, as many other experts in selling feel, that a confused mind votes no. That means if someone doesn't know what to pick out of your offerings, they frequently don't pick anything, and they leave without buying. I've got several examples of this. I sell almost nothing from my catalog of products. I sell tons when I concentrate on one item. That same item might be in the catalog, it probably is, but it gets lost in the shuffle and there's just too much to pick from, so people don't pick anything. Another example is from my speaking career. For over half my career, I've been one of the top back-of-the-room sellers at public events. At these events, I watch all the other speakers, and many of them have that old, the gold and silver and platinum packages. All right. Now, I'm an audience watcher. I see people looking confused. I see them whispering to the person sitting next to them. What did he say? What comes with that? I don't get it. What did he say? The audience members look totally discombobulated. I'm sitting there, and in my mind, I'm smiling ear to ear because I know I'm going to take home most of the money. I even made this mistake of offering too many things for years. I have a year-long mentorship program and immersion weekend at my retreat center that at events sold for $4,995. early on, for the people that I thought couldn't afford the bigger package, I had a $599 home study kit. Now, here's a good example why you never should get too big for your britches and think that you know it all. Well, one time I totally zoned out on stage and forgot to mention the $599 package. Guess what happened? Everyone bought the mentorship, all right? It was clear the enormous amount of value they would get. It was nothing like anyone else was selling, and there was no confusion. They either bought it or they didn't. So that was my 2x4 to the head to sell one thing at a time. And you can check out my mentor program if you'd like at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. Over there, you can watch a video by clicking on the little monitor, and you can download a learning brochure, and I'll have that in the show notes. All right, so how does this apply to upselling? Well, what I do is I wait until someone has either purchased something or made a decision to purchase something. Of course, that's obvious by them putting it in the cart, before I offer them something else to purchase, which is the upsell. That way, they're only making one decision at a time, and I'm not confusing them. All right, now there are 3 types of upselling. Number 1 is at the point of purchase. 2 is immediately post-sale. And 3 is after the sale. Now, those aren't in any particular order. I did not number them 1, 2, 3, but you can use them anytime, anywhere. So I'm going to go over each one. But before I do, I'm going to give you another theory to work with that pretty much guarantees that 30 to 50% of the people that see your offer actually buy it. Now, that's been my track record for years. If I structure the upsell properly, 30 to 50% of the people seeing the offer actually buy the extra offer. So here's the overall upselling theory, and then I'll give you some examples of upselling at the point of purchase. All right, here's the theory. A person makes a decision to buy product A. You offer them product B that has the following characteristics. Product B is related to product A. Product B is considerably cheaper than product A, and product B is some kind of an extra deal, a sale, a special. Let's say you or a guy you know decided they needed a new suit, and they had a budget of $600 for the new suit. They go to the store, pick out a suit, get fitted for it, and the salesperson says, everyone buying a suit gets 2 for 1 on shirts and ties. All right, well, let's break this down. The original amount of purchase decision was $600. Shirts and ties are certainly related to suits, and even at full price, they are a cheaper product. Making them 2 for 1 makes them a super cheap deal. In my experience, 30 to 50% of the people would go for that deal, the shirts and ties. Now, that was an example of an upsell at the point of purchase for a brick and mortar or a physical store. Online, you can do the same thing. We use kickstartcart.com that handles this for us. When someone clicks to buy an item, we have told the cart, when someone puts product A in the cart, offer them product B. There's 2 ways to do this, and I prefer the first way, where the product and description of the product B are on top of the cart page. So the person has to scroll past it before they get to what they already decided to purchase. In the show notes, we'll put a graphic example of this so you can see what it actually looks like for a real product. The second way you can offer another product, which I've not seen sell as much as the first way, is to put it in related products below what they have already put in the cart. I'll also have a graphic of this in the show notes at screwthecommute.com/22, because this is episode 22. You can put 1 or more upsell products in this area below the cart, and many companies do. I mean, Amazon is one, and you sure can't doubt their success. But for us little guys, I try not to violate my one decision at a time rule, so I don't do the multiple related products under the cart too much. Now, here's a sidebar. A related product is something you've told the cart to offer depending on what the person chose to buy. That's a related product. A featured product is one that is shown no matter what the person chose to buy. This would be something you were really trying to push for everybody to see. That's a featured product. There's another sidebar, is that you could put multiple products in the above the cart method if you wanted to. But again, I don't do it hardly at all because it violates my one decision at a time rule. All right, the next type of upselling is immediately post-sale upselling. Let's say someone purchased something from you online. They checked out and completed the sale. So the sale is completely done in their mind, but not in our minds. In this case, they are expecting to see a thank you page, which we're going to get into thank you page selling a little later. But instead, they see a page that says something like, add product D to your order. Then there's sales copy saying how great product D is, and a yes and a no button at the bottom. If they click on the yes button, product D is added to their order and they don't have to fill out anything else. In other words, you're making it very easy for them to buy. Then, guess what might happen? Another product page appears that says something like, you made a great decision adding product D to your order. It cracks me up because this stuff is so simple if you just implement it. So you made a great decision adding product D to your order. Did you know we also have a great product E? Then you describe product E and give them another yes, no button. If they click yes, you could repeat this process again and again. As long as they keep clicking yes, they must really like what you have to offer, right? I actually don't go more than a couple times with this, but it has added an enormous amount of money to my bottom line over many years. But you say, Tom, what if they click no? Well, if you're timid, you might immediately take them to a thank you page and be done with it. If you're a little more aggressive, you would take them to another similar page offering another product and giving them yes, no buttons. You have to be careful here because if people click no and you continue to shove products in their face, they might get upset with you. The saving grace is their original order is already completed, and most people won't go back and cancel it just because you gave them too many offers. I'm not saying I want you to be this pushy and that you upset every customer. I'm just saying that if you are too timid to at least try some of these techniques, you are undoubtedly leaving a lot of money on the table and making it harder for your business to be profitable. In some markets, you can give them 5 or 6 offers and nobody gets upset. In others, 1 or 2 is the max. You have to try things out in your market to see where the threshold is that makes you the most money with the least upset customers. I'll also have a screen capture of a yes-no page in the show notes for you. Now let's move on to after the sale upselling. Yes, I know the last example was technically after the sale. However, it happened immediately while the person was still right there waiting for a thank you page. This after the sale upselling method happens with the use of autoresponders. Now, for those of you that don't know what an autoresponder is, it is a mechanism that sends an email or a series of emails to a person after they have triggered the autoresponder. They could trigger the autoresponder by buying something or opting in for some kind of free newsletter or freebie, also known as an ethical bribe that you're providing. It doesn't happen very much now, but many autoresponders could be triggered by the person sending an email to a certain email address that triggers the autoresponder. And by the way, most top marketers would tell you the autoresponder is the most powerful and profitable tool ever invented for people selling online. Our shopping cart system, kickstartcart.com, and our sponsor for this episode, has unlimited numbers of autoresponders. I think over the years I have accumulated over 400 sequences that are both taking care of customers and upselling them as I'm sitting here recording this for you. For our purposes, the autoresponder in this case would be triggered by the customer making a purchase. You have written autoresponder messages that go out in a sequence. The first one might be a thank you email and some tips on how long shipping would take or where to download their product if they missed the download link. The second email might be customer service info if they have a question or trouble. The third email, now these aren't in the same day, but I should tell you that. These are spread out over time. The third email might be a repeat of the customer service info and some extra tips or updates on using what they purchased. Now here's another sidebar. I want people to get used to getting emails from me that help them. That way, when they're less likely to unsubscribe when they get a purely sales-oriented email. The fourth email might be an additional tip to use the product. And here's where the after-the-sale upsell comes in. I'll give you an example from my Wake 'em Up Pro speaking system. If you want to learn about it, it'll be in the show notes too. So here's something that I might say in the upsell email. The best way for professional speakers to get their fees up is to become better known. I've been on radio and TV all over the world, and I collaborated with Joan Stewart, the publicity hound, to write an ebook giving you all the secrets of how I did it. Here's a link to the table of contents and a free excerpt, along with a coupon code for a 50% discount since you bought the speaker system. Check it out. I will have that link for the table of contents in the show notes so you can check it out. But that's an example of upselling after the sale using an autoresponder. And another sidebar here, not even in the transcript, is that people love coupons. And so you can make a coupon code very specific for a specific deal, for a percentage off, for a dollar amount off, free shipping, any of that. All right, people love that and it increases sales. All right, another way to upsell them after the sale is calling them on the phone. I don't do this much personally anymore, simply because of the sheer volume of business we do. But another way to upsell after the sale is to actually call people and thank them for the order and tell them about other stuff you have. Now, I don't pretend to be a phone expert, but just the fact you called goes a long way with some people. I will tell you, when I first started selling online, I called everyone that ordered, and it really accelerated my success online. So don't be afraid to pick up that phone. It's not cold calling, which I hate. And I just got to tell you about this lady that called me. She was paying $4,000 a month for a part-time person to operate her shopping cart system. She wasn't even using half of what it can do. And that's in addition to $300 to $400 a month she's paying for the system. I mean, it was highway robbery pretty much. She got sucked into a big company aggressively marketing to people that didn't know any better, and she got taken for a ride. The system I promote is kickstartcart.com. It costs about a third of the price, and with our unlimited one-on-one tutoring, you'll be up and running easily, and you can operate it by yourself. So get your 30-day free trial at kickstartcart.com. Okay, now let's jump into thank you page selling. This is a form of upselling that most people totally miss when they sell online, and it's really right in front of your face to do it, and the customer's face too. In fact, all right, the customer is expecting and waiting for the thank you page to display after they purchase online to make sure the sale actually went through. You've all done it. Instead of simply saying thanks for the purchase and here's your order number, this page is a perfect place to sell more of your stuff or other people's stuff. Well, Tom, what do you mean other people's stuff? I mean, this is a great place to put affiliate links to other related products and services that you don't sell. You send your customer who just bought and has their wallet out, right? You send them to another online seller who sells them something else and gives you a commission on the sale. Let's take it for instance. Let's say you have an online store specializing in sports balls. Any kind of balls, baseballs, softballs, golf balls, soccer balls, or whatever kind of sports balls there is. Now let's say someone bought a soccer ball from you. On your thank you page, you put an affiliate link to another online store that sells soccer shoes or soccer clothes or soccer field equipment, whatever. A good shopping cart system like the one I use and promote, kickstartcart.com, can display a custom thank you page depending on what the customer bought. So if they bought a soccer ball, it would be kind of ridiculous, don't you think, to send them to a place selling golf clubs. All right. You'd want to send them to a soccer-related site. If they bought a baseball, you'd send them where they could buy bats and catcher's gear and helmets and bases and such. So if you want to make more from the same number of visitors to your site, use upselling and thank you page selling to sell more of your stuff and get affiliate commissions from lots of other companies. I'll be doing a whole episode on affiliate selling sometime in the future, so keep your eye out for that. Now, this next thing is an extremely powerful form of selling. I learned in 1996 from Corey Rudel, I call him the 30-something-year-old grandfather of internet marketing. It's called Advertorial. We're done with upselling right now. Advertorial stands for Advertisement Editorial. Basically, it's an advertisement that doesn't look like an advertisement. It just looks like an article, or it could be a video or audio that just starts out as a story. When I took consultation with Corey, he looked at the sales page for my Wake 'em Up video professional speaking system, and he said, "Tom, get the picture of the product the heck off that page." I mean, he was almost yelling at me. He was so excited. I'm like, "What? People have to see what they're buying, don't they?" He said, "Tom, what is the first thing people do on a web page if they see what appears to be an expensive product?" And so, as not to waste my $2,400 per hour consultation, all right, $1,200 for a half hour, he answered it for me. He says they scroll to the bottom of the page to look for the price, and then they leave. Let me repeat that. What is the first thing people do on a web page if they see what appears to be an expensive product? They scroll to the bottom of the page to look for the price, and then they leave. Then he asked me another question. "Tom, which makes more sense? That the prospect sees the benefits of the product before the price, or the price before the benefits?" Well, the answer to that couldn't have been more crystal clear, and another reason why you shouldn't approach life like a know-it-all. All right. I had been selling a lot up to that point, and he just took it to a new level. He actually said, hide your products. Hide your products. Lead people to them with compelling stories and benefits to them, and they will be begging to have a product that will give them those benefits. So he had me redo the sales letter with no picture of the product, none, and pretty much a compelling story letter of all the things I had to learn to become a pro speaker and how people started bugging me so bad to help them become better speakers, I couldn't get my own work done. That's the story I told in the sales letter. That's when I put together the Wake 'em Up video professional speaking system. And that whole story about how I came about to make the speaker system was in the sales letter. All right, this is called the 3/4 rule. Corey gave me this. He said, do not reveal the fact the product was involved in your sales letter until at least 3/4 of the way through what we call the advertorial. He said, if people read that far, they will be saturated with benefits of the product and way more likely to purchase. Mostly because the first 3/4 of the letter concentrated on showing them all the things they could have if they learned all the things I had to learn to be a pro speaker. The initial testing on these two very different sales letters, the one with no picture and the one with picture, will make your jaw drop. It did mine, and it meant probably $1 million extra in sales. The advertorial with no pictures of the product and what just looked like a big article on professional speaking sold 4 times as many speaker systems as the one with the picture. The people that bought from the advertorial had no idea what they bought looked like until it showed up on their doorstep. Here's the key, though. They did, however, know the enormous picture of what could happen to them that I painted in their minds using the advertorial. Now, I've got a little graphic of just the top of the advertorial and regular sales page side by side so you can get an idea of what they both look like. So, in the famous words of Corey Rudel, hide your products. Okay, that's what I have for you today. If you use the things in this week's training session diligently, it could mean millions of extra dollars in your pocket over the course of your career. This has been episode 22. To see the show notes, go to screwthecommute.com/22. Now, in the next episode, I'm doing an interview with business strategist Vicki Sullivan, and she's going to tell you about I have never heard this before in my life. A hitman offered her a free stabbing as a gift for her great customer service. I'm not kidding. Don't miss that episode. That's next. So go get your free trial of kickstartcart.com. Please subscribe and leave us a review, and I'll catch you on the next episode.